you guys, thank you for tuning in to this video. My name is Justin Parr. I'm a free diver off of the coast of North Carolina, and we just like getting out there, being safe, having fun. Here's some videos that I've recorded from a day of diving offshore. Enjoy.
Oh my God, it's 100 foot of is.
First time jumping in for the day. We're getting in the water shortly after sunrise, and everything's visible. I estimated maybe 100 feet of visibility, but everything's crystal clear. It's hard to tell. Loading my gun before I take a drop. Now, I like to share the reality of what freediving and spearfishing is a lot of drops without anything to show other than a great experience. This one, swimming with some barracuda and checking out the ledges, looking for lobster, grouper, potentially an African pompano. A few targets in this zone, none found on that dive. On this dive, I'm gonna show a timer in case you are curious how long I'm staying under. This is not a particularly long dive, but is kind of, average to start out the day. My dive time, and I am no advanced diver, y'all, is 1 minute to 1 minute and 30 seconds. This dive kind of fallen in the middle of that average. I have gone over 1 minute and 30 on the day that I'm feeling as good as I feel. I have taken a level 1 freediving course. Recommend you do so if doing any diving deeper than a pool. This dive, again, nobody home, but beautiful, beautiful surroundings. We could do this all day without seeing something, and it would still be an enjoyable time. Lots of crevices for things to hide in. Surely I may have missed something. All the jacks following us around, really cool to see on the way up. Now, this dive was successful, and I found a lobster. Well, the search was successful. Approaching these guys is always a little interesting. He has a lot of room in the back of this cave, so I wanted to take my time, not scare him back. I should have gotten my gun a little bit around the edge. Unfortunately, ripped his antenna off. Was unable to secure the lobster. They will regrow their antenna, although I am not happy about that result. It will not kill the lobster. Here's another dive with a timer on it for you. This one slightly longer and at a slightly deeper location than the prior dive I showed you. I never get sick of seeing this bottom. A lot of these fish are various species of reef fish, angelfish, Spanish hogfish, ringtail. There's a lot of fish out here that we don't particularly target. This is why we prefer spearfishing, is due to our ability to be selective. Zero bycatch typically will take out more from the ocean than we would leave behind. Finding trash or maybe some lost gear. Look at these ledges. Beautiful, beautiful terrain. The jacks always follow you around down there. It's pretty cool. Less fun when it's a murky day, though. And I shut my camera off a little before the surface, but this one was probably around 1 minute 30. My buddy Sam Blunt grabbing a lobster. I'll show you it up close. Beautiful execution. He put the point of the gun on the tail of the lobster and grabbed it. It was funny, we dove at the same time. We have friends on the surface waiting for us, so if you thought we were the only two out there, that's not true. Beautiful grab. Did not harm the lobster during the grab, and Sam's gonna have a great meal ahead of him.
That's gonna be so cool.
That's fucking huge. That's a monster. Let's go. Let's go.
Look at that lobster. Beautiful.
I got that.
Another dive, drifting along a similar ledge area. We're diving 2 and 2, so if you see another diver down, we have an individual on the surface doing safety for their respective diver on the bottom. My buddy prior to me, Mark, who did the dive, called out this shell, queen conch shell, I believe. And I love collecting these shells for my wife, Abby, and to decorate our home. This was a great one to grab. The jack's still following me down to the bottom. Could have been cool to find a fish to shoot on the same dive, but I didn't see anything that was tempting.
Yeah, it's got something in it though.
It's got a queen helmet conch. They're delicious.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. They're fucking awesome. Years ago.
Uh-huh.
I saw one here years ago.
Back in the water, Sam, who was driving, let me stay in. And this dive, see, a free walker is what we call it, a lobster walking out in the open. I'll let you see what happened. Outsmarted. It wasn't my day for a lobster, but it was for my friends. This is my buddy Stephanus. He grabbed a nice lobster.
Yeah, hold him good.
Go ahead and loosen it.
Another dive. Saw a small hogfish. Just wanted to show you this clip. It eating. It's pretty cool. And when there's a small hogfish around, sometimes there's a bigger one. Shortly after, my buddy Mark shot this beautiful male hogfish.
For the GoPro. Oh yeah, very nice.
This is what it looks like when we're on the move, going spot to spot. My friend Chris Covington owns this regulator. It's a beautiful vessel for us to dive on. We're diving a little more shallow this time, but same water quality in this shallower terrain. And this is getting towards the end of our day. All of these clips spanning over potentially a 5 to 8 hour period of time, depending on the day. And by the afternoon, we're pretty tired. We want to hunt the shallow stuff. I hadn't shot too much this day, and I missed all my lobsters, so I decided I wanted to take something home. Shot a sea bass. These sea bass are black sea bass, are all around. Most of the time we won't take a shot though, because they're pretty small. I always brain and bleed these fish and take their insides out every time to preserve the quality of the fish that I bring home to eat. That's the only reason I take something, is if I would like to eat it. And if I take it, I'm going to treat it nice. Diving down, again, same drift with that sea bass. Sam Blunt and I came across this cave. There's actually multiple grouper in this frame if you look closely. I saw them, I leveled out, wanted to get a little hidden behind this structure. He's staring at me. I do not like taking this front on shot, so I tried to wait for him to turn. It didn't really turn. I tried to make a shot. I barely nicked the top of the fish and unfortunately missed it and hit the rocks behind it. I point these out for Sam. The fish is over there swimming away. Sam just checking on me.
There's another one in there too. There's another in the cave.
And I want him to know there's more. He happened to dive and not see him. I reloaded my gun and I went right back down to try to see if I could find the grouper. This time I found him, took my time, got a broadside shot on this fish. Luckily he swam out of the cave. Sometimes if they stay in the cave, they can obviously stay down there longer than me. So it doesn't end up well for me, but luckily he swam out. A beautiful grouper.
You go. There's another one in there.
There were multiple grouper in the cave, so I told him to go for another one while I watch over him. Thank the fish for its sacrifice. Brain the fish, bleed the fish, gut the fish. Treat the fish right if you're going to take its life. Sam going down, I'm watching over him at the same time. I thought this was pretty cool. Mark on driving duty.
There were like 3 in the same cave.
No shit.
Yeah.
There's Chris. He's the captain of the vessel. And just some last reefs we checked out before the end of the day. Thank you to Chris for always taking us out in his boat, keeping us safe, diving, amazing, being a great dive partner, safe in the water and out of the water. Look at that cave, that's crazy. Nothing home on this dive, but wanted to do a final check before I leave. I was one of the only ones that didn't get a lobster, so I wanted to see if I could get one last dive. And this is the last video or clip I have in this video. Thank you for watching, especially if you watched it to the end. And I'm going to try to make these videos weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. We'll see what cadence I can get to, but I appreciate y'all watching, and I love sharing these experiences with you guys.